Hey everybody, it's Robert here with another video. Today I want to talk about the free software, and this is going to be part of a series. This is the beginning of a new series on free software and for the different platforms. So I'm going to start with Windows because it's got the most software, and also there's some software that are tailored for like engineers and musicians, and also some utilities as well. So let's start. The first one I want to talk about is Vlc Media Player, and I'll see if I can try to get the pictures of these software. Kind of like screenshots so I could show you what they look like. Now VLC is just a media player similar to Windows Media Player for Windows 7 and up, and this particular piece of software is a cross-platform, which means you can use any desktop platform will work. For example, Ubuntu, Linux, Macintosh, I'm sure OS 9 and above, and of course Windows. It basically can take almost any video or audio codec as long as it's not protected. Now, Apple especially has, when you buy a video from the iTunes store, it's usually protected, and you really cannot use any other software except for iTunes, which limits you to using either Windows or Macintosh. That means you cannot use iTunes in Linux. You can't play any iTunes store content in Linux. You can only use Windows or Macintosh. And you can also use the iPhone, but you cannot use Android or Windows Phone. Next, this piece of software is also cross-platform, and it's very useful for those who cannot afford Microsoft Office. It's called Libreoffice, which is a spin-off of the older open source software called OpenOffice. And it kind of does pretty much the same thing as OpenOffice, and Microsoft Office can, and this particular software can actually has the whole Office suite built in, except for like Publisher. But most people only use Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So it has LibreOffice Writer for Word, LibreOffice Impress for PowerPoint, and LibreOffice Calc for Excel. There's also a LibreOffice Math program for mathematical formulas, which can be quite handy. I don't know if it's a solver, though, similar to Excel. Okay, next piece of software is a MATLAB alternative for those who can't afford MATLAB, specifically for engineers, called Octave. And it has an editor, and it has documentation, and it has a lot of the features that MATLAB has. In fact, I was able to use image processing for a color photo that I was able to I was able to get the software to read it and show it within the software, which is very good. I'm hoping to use it for more image processing, and of course it does plots. Yeah, actually it does pretty good compared to MATLAB for plots. Yeah, so the next one, of course, iTunes and Windows Live Movie Maker. That is part of the Windows Essentials pack. Windows Live Essentials pack for Windows 7. Now, for Windows 10, or even Windows 8, you probably would just go to the Windows Store and download it for free. There's a Movie Maker software for that as well. Okay, another one. I'll have to include some pictures, some screenshots. Another one for music people. It's called a MuseScore, and it's similar. It's very similar to Forte software, and it's basically musical notation software, where you can use MIDI to input the notes that you want to play, or that you want the computer to play. You can also use MIDI out, but I've never really done much with MIDI except manually put in all the notes that I want. But I was able to create some instrumental tracks for videos, probably such as this one. Of course, you know the Kindle app. So let's just rapid fire through this. Notepad++ for any programming language. It doesn't do any compilation or assemble of the code, but it'll at least get you to where you can write code for just about any language, including Python and Java, JavaScript, HTML, XML, CSS, many things. Alright, a free utility software that you really need is Malwarebytes Anti-Malware. And that detects malware and it solves the malware issue. Another one for music lovers is multi-track audio editing, called Audacity. And I use that a lot to include multiple tracks in any kind of recording that I do from any instrument. Alright, the next one is Sous Partition Editor, and that piece of software is free, and it basically controls all the partitions that you have. So you can decrease partitions, create a new partition for another OS. If you want to dual boot your computer, I recommend getting that before doing anything else. Another handy thing is, drivers need to be updated. So Driver Booster can help you update your drivers. For this particular software is from IOBit, and it helps to update your drivers in one click. Very, very handy and useful, especially when drivers get updated. Next is the Arduino software, which you would have to have an Arduino board. The cheapest one I found was like $10, and that was like the Nano or Mini or something. Alright, next thing is the Macaran Reflect software, and it's free, and it's a way to back up your data, which you need to back up your data. And this particular software can image your hard drive bit for bit, and has some level of compression, so you'll be able to fit more data than you think you need. Okay, of course, there's Pandora, Spotify, Last.fm, iHeartRadio. I prefer Spotify. CCleaner can clean out the junk files. Skype, of course. Adobe Reader, which you should pretty much get. There's also an open source variant called Foxit Reader, which does pretty much the same thing. Mozilla Firefox or Google Chrome, doesn't matter which, those are just web browsers that are alternative to Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer 11. Okay, next one is a presentation software, a couple of presentation software that I found for Windows called Easy Slides, and also Worship Extreme Live. Worship Extreme Live uses the internet to do any kind of presenter type software, similar to Easy Worship for churches and nonprofits. Pretty handy. And of course, Easy Slides is the open source alternative. You can also do for antivirus, Avast antivirus, but in most cases Windows Defender, which is the same as MSE. MSE for Windows 7, Windows Defender for Windows 8 and above. And if you have multiple monitors and you want to use a scoreboard, there's Multi-Sport Scoreboard Standard. You can just Google it, and it will have some free to try scoreboards that'll get you by in any sports related situation. Mozilla Thunderbird is also great for email, similar to Microsoft Outlook. And one last one, Advanced Systemcare 9. Advanced Systemcare, the free version, is a way to optimize your PC a little bit. Of course, there's a lot of games, and CD Burner XP is what I use to burn ISO images or CDs or DVDs of any like video or audio, or even just to back up some of your data. That's another way to do it. If you're gonna use Macaran Reflect, make sure you back up to a external hard drive. The last piece of software is Knox, and also Bluestacks. Basically, you can have Android running on your PC using like a virtual machine. Using Knox is what I use, but Bluestacks is also available. And you can also run Linux in a virtual machine using software called VirtualBox, which is very handy. Okay, that's it. That's all of the free utility software for Windows. And there's a bunch of games as well, like Dream Chess and Mario Forever. And you can even use Pinball. You can download Pinball for Windows 7 and up. Pinball is usually for Windows XP. It was built into Windows XP, but they took it out after Vista. Okay, that's all I have for today, and hopefully I can put the pictures of screenshots. One more thing, Zernal is similar to Windows Journal. And that's it. Okay, have a nice day, and comment, like, and subscribe. All your favorite software. Free software. Take care. Bye.